Hi, I'm Kristin Steinke. I'm based in Bend, Oregon, very beautiful place in the mountains of Oregon. I've been really kind of exploring my art since 2015 is when I finished my master's in fine arts. And then I started kind of enjoying other mediums besides the photography, which I studied, doing all kinds of different things. I love analog processes. So I really got interested in Kat and what she teaches because I wanted to try watercolor. One of my friends said, "You have to check her out. Her watercolor is so beautiful, it'll inspire you." And it was very intimidating to me. I kind of fell in love with it. And then I said, but I'm never going to do digital. I'm never going to do digital. Well, here I am. I'm obsessed. I literally don't want to leave my house without my iPad. And I'm enjoying Procreate and now Illustrator. And I thought, well, I might as well just start working towards this. And I wanted to learn about licensing. And I never dipped my toe in that until a year ago this month. And now I'm excited about pursuing it. So, kind of where I'm at. I retired from the Air Force after doing military intelligence for over 20 years and then doing consulting for 7 and thought, I just can't. I need this out of my head. I need to be creative. I thought, well, I can't do anything else creative, but maybe I can learn photography. Well, here I am. I don't even take pictures anymore. Unless I want to draw something. It's amazing how you can actually learn to be creative. The reason I joined the art collective really was I felt like I was ready to start learning about the business side of the art process. And licensing sounded exciting to me. I never knew anything about it. I know that my dream is to be on a Kleenex box, and I didn't know how to do it. So I didn't even know what to do to begin. And I know after taking a course with Kat before that she's so generous with her information, and I trusted her. So I actually, like many people I found out, emailed her directly and said, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know if I should do it. And she kind of laid the foundation, like, you don't have to know what you're doing. That's the whole point. And she made it clear it wasn't an art class. It's a business kind of process. But really the art, I mean, I never made a collection before this class. It's funny because my background in photography, I know what a collection is. I did series of art projects for my thesis project, everything. So I don't know why I never applied it, but sometimes you just need a little boost and you need somebody else to tell you, okay, this does translate and you already know what's in there. So just apply it to this process, if either watercolor or digital or whatever your medium is. And I kind of had that aha moment in the first month and was so excited. And I mean, here I am a year later and I have about 10 collections that I like. And some that I just like but don't love, and I want to just zhuzh them up a little bit. And now I know the difference. So just seeing the progress has been so satisfying. But the struggle was I didn't know anything about pitching. I didn't know anything about licensing. I didn't know, how to monetize my art. And I'm excited to be able to do that now. Cohesive collections in photography I took 5 years to finish my master's because I was working and I wanted to kind of spread it out because I loved every class so much. Having the same color concepts, having the mood, all the things. And I just didn't even think about putting that together for this. So yeah, it was fun to say, okay, I know a little more than I think I know. I just need to apply it. And you don't always do it right or perfect, but if you know what you did wrong, that's all of it, right? Then you know how to improve it. Yeah, it's been really fun. Opportunities are opening and I'm jumping in. And so it is valid. That's very validating. So since I joined the program, first of all, I was very excited to have structure. I needed structure. And like a lot of artists, kind of you have that squirrel moment where I want to watercolor today and, oh, I want to play with paper tomorrow. And this has really helped me stay focused, accomplish goals. For instance, having an assignment. So since Kat gives you a business assignment and a collection assignment every month, I took it very seriously because I'm paying for this class and I don't want to blow it off. And I want to look back at my work in, a month's time, 2 months' time and forward going, hey, you did that. And learn from it, knowing where I need to improve. So I jumped in with just an open heart and thought, I'm going to just do my assignments and be a good student because that's kind of my personality anyway. But it was really important for me to structure my days around it and say, okay, it's time for me to, no kidding, sit in my studio and do my homework and sit. If I want to watch TV, if I didn't finish my design, I'm going to sit with my iPad and finish my design while I'm doing it. Just that sense of accomplishment has made me really proud. And my friends are proud of me and saying, this has been so good for you. And we just see your growth and it's so exciting. You have a website and a shop and you're in a gallery and you are in a magazine. I mean, all these things have happened since I joined this collective. So it's just been tremendous. And I think it'll come up in a few minutes, but the community has been just amazing. And doing your art alone is one thing, but doing it in a collective is a game changer. So this just has been just such a joy. First of all, my expectations. When I joined, I really didn't have a ton of expectations. I thought I would learn about collections. I thought I would learn about licensing and just kind of explore some different processes like Procreate, for instance, on my own and just be inspired to. But what I've gotten out of it has been so much more than that. The learning has been important. So just to give one example off the top of my head is building a website. I, like a lot of people, absolutely hate the tech side of things and the admin work because it's not fun. So I thought, okay, Kat says, you don't actually have to have a website right off the bat, but you're going to want to work towards it. And I'm like, nope, I have to have it. It has to look good and I'm going to do this. Well, it took a lot. It took a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of learning and a lot of begging friends to help. And most of all is putting it out there to the collective saying, okay, everybody, here's what I'm working with. What do you think? What do I need? And really getting solid feedback from people in that same space. So to say, hey, you need to work on your about page or you need to work on your contact form. And this is what I recommend. That was huge because my friends aren't in that space and they can't help me with that. So another example is really having that courage to be vulnerable and putting my art out there. And it is kind of scary, even if you're behind the big brave screen going, okay, here's my first collection. I think it's stupid and embarrassing, but everyone go ahead, do your worst. And nobody did. Everybody was very lovely and said, you could build on this or maybe look at this color scheme or whatever it was. I took every bit of that advice and built on that, really. For instance, I did a fall, our very first assignment was a seasonal collection. And so I did a fall collection. And I think because I was in the fall season and that felt right. And I look at that now and I'm like, well, I like a couple of the patterns, but I wouldn't pitch it. So now I can redo it and then be really excited about it and know how to pitch it and know who to send it to. And I have, oh my gosh, like 150 companies in my spreadsheet now that I've built through the help of friends in the collective saying these people are great to pitch to, these people are not, watch out for this. The wins have been really satisfying, but more satisfying has been the learning and the journey. And that doesn't sound sexy and cool, but it really is part of it. And knowing that I have the confidence to, now I can update my website because I feel comfortable with it now. I created a newsletter and that was something in the beginning I thought, I don't need to do that. Well, it was one of our business tasks and I thought I'm going to try it. And it was very laughable because of all the flubs and it was just a hot mess. Well, first I sent it to my family and nobody looked and nobody cared. Then I sent it to the collective and they're like, okay, this is not working. The captcha's not working or whatever it was. And I was so grateful to get that feedback from professional people who are invested in this as well. That was just wonderful. I've had some really exciting wins that wouldn't have happened had I not built on all these learning, successful learning adventures. I wouldn't have had the courage to put my work up for consideration to an art journal. That's just been wonderful and worth it all the way. And I'm very happy and excited to share. I feel like it's just a product of hard work and continuing efforts to put myself out there. And I'm not focusing on what I'm not achieving, and I'm not focusing on what I'm not doing yet. I'm focusing on every little win. Like when that newsletter went out to everybody for the first time correctly, that was a huge win. I was on cloud nine all day. After doing all these little things, I decided to submit my art for publication. One opportunity was with this art journal that you see things on Instagram and you're like, well, after research, it looked legit and I'm going to do it. Well, it was called Visual Art Journal, and I happen to have it right here. And so in May of this year, and to have your art like in front of you and you can hold it and it's a quality product and your face is on there, it's so much fun and so satisfying. And I shamelessly keep it on my coffee table. I'm not going to lie, because I did that. I did a thing. It's work that is important to me, something I'm proud of, which that's important. So then I submitted my work for an opportunity to be in New York Times Square on a billboard. And you kind of just submit and walk away after a while, just like with licensing, pitching deals. You're like, okay, I'm just going to submit and walk away. If it happens, it happens. And it happened. And I mean, that dopamine hit was amazing, full of butterflies, and texting all my friends because my husband's like, that's great. And my girlfriend's like, that's amazing. And then I sent it to the collective and I said, you guys, you have to submit. And so one of the other girls did, and she got picked too for the following month. So sharing those opportunities make it 1,000 times better. And that was very exciting. And so then I got a little more confident and like, well, I'm going to submit to another publication and do some more work towards this collection I really love, and just really capitalizing on one solid collection that I was very proud of. I got picked up. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I the only one? You start questioning, you're like, am I the only one that submitted? Which is absolutely ridiculous. That's not happening. But this Create magazine has a quarterly publication called Art Queens, which is even more fun. And they're doing a 4-page spread that's coming out in a month. So that's huge. And this time last year, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that. So I now have, triple the people that I send my newsletter to. That just keeps growing. And those little wins, I had a little solo show at a local store, and I met with another shop owner, and she said, I'm going to sell your stuff. I love it. And it's just confidence building that gives you even more confidence when you're pitching your work to strangers behind a screen and sending those emails. You're like, well, I know it's kind of like wine tasting. You're going to like it or you're not going to like it. It's not personal. So going in with that attitude has helped me a lot, and it's made me feel less afraid. And like Kat says, it's a numbers game. Just keep putting your work out there. It's going to touch somebody. Yeah, it's been really fun. I've enjoyed my wins, but the wins mean a lot, but the process and the learning that I can take with, in the future means everything. So, and celebrating with the community. I'm like, hey guys, I did this, and having everybody excited for you, knowing how hard it is to do that is wonderful. So if you've never heard of the Art of Collections, I'm going to give you my description of it. I'm going to start with kind of backing up to why it appealed to me. Like many of you, probably read the description that Kat offered. What I needed was some structure, and the Art of Collections is structure. Now she has a 6-month plan where you can print it all. I have a little binder with my Art of Collections information. There's a roadmap. That's very satisfying. There are tasks. Like I said, every month you have a business and a creative task. That's very helpful because it keeps you on track. And then the community in general. So what a month looks like in the Art of Collections for me is the first of the month, we get our assignments, and then we start looking at each other's progress. So some people will wait till they have a final collection, and a lot of people will just say, okay, I'm working on this. What do you think? What kind of patterns? I know for me, I'll do a hero design, and then I'll say, I am just stuck at what kind of pattern I could pull from this. And then people will say, what about this, this, and this? I'm like, oh gosh, of course. Thank you. Fresh eyes on your work is everything. And so then I can meet my own goal to finish it by the end of the month. You aren't penalized if you don't, though. It's just for your own satisfaction. So having those monthly tasks, having the roadmap, and seeing your progress, it's really about growth then. So people will offer shared resources. So there's different rooms in the Art of Collection. For instance, if you have any pitch questions, there's a whole section on that. There's a meet and mingle section. So a couple of us, and I'm sure everybody has their own schedule, but a couple of us meet every Monday, and then some others we meet every Thursday, and it's a check-in. One of them's a kind of we work and talk, and the other one is just checking up on each other and what's new and then you can ask questions. I mean, I've asked technical questions that we've stayed after and gone over if I don't know how to do something. And that's just been huge. It really is a place where you can trust that you're going to have growth. You're going to make progress as long as you take it seriously and you get out what you give. So if you give, your attention and you say, okay, I am going to make time for this in my life. If you're too busy, you got to recognize that right off the bat. And you have to figure out, when do I have time? Just like taking a college class, you say, I'm going to have to carve out time for this assignment, or I'm not going to see the results that I really want. That's very important. And a lot of people are overwhelmed. And some people have taken 3 weeks, a month off, and then come back and felt refreshed and they got what they needed out of it, which is fine. Everybody's on their own schedule. For me, if I'm away too long, then I feel like I feel behind. So I like to stay on top of it. And then the third piece, besides doing the homework, is really interacting with people. And so following up on messages and people saying, hey, I'm on the struggle bus. I'm not feeling creative. Help. And it's amazing. That person will have like 10 responses in a day going, I feel you. What are you working on? What are you thinking about? Let's talk about it. That's what it's all about, really. Community and growth. And we all have strengths, right? We all have strengths to offer. I mean, I've made legit friends. I mean, just meeting Chris, she lives in Sydney, but she was visiting her family in Denmark. And for us to be there at the same time and have lunch and go shopping. And then Sherelle, we're meeting again Saturday because she's visiting family nearby. And then she's going to come to my house and we're going to play in my clean studio that's all painted and fresh. So yeah, and I've bought art from people that I like. And I forgot to mention, I did a podcast with Nat. It's just really awesome. Yeah. If you are on the fence about joining the collective, you have to ask yourself why. Is it about time, or is it about money, or is it about confidence? Those questions need to be answered before you join. If you can afford it and you can squeeze in, I'm going to say honestly, minimum of 10 hours a week, minimum. I mean, I've put in a lot more than that, but I have more time. Do it. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Because I sat there, I was on a girls' trip with my best friends, and I talked to them about it. And I said, I've been thinking about it. I took a class with her a couple of years ago and I loved it. And they're like, well, what's the problem? I said, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend the money. I don't know if I'm ready to even look into licensing. And they're like, you can afford it. Just do it. And the day before it started, when she was launching this course, I signed up. And I am so happy I did it. Obviously, I'm sitting here today talking about it with a smile on my face. You really have to ask yourself, do I have time? Because you're going to be really frustrated if you don't have time for real. Because I've been there. I've been that person who's, a young mom working full time, and I don't know how I could have squeezed it in. But if you do have time and you can afford it, then do it. But if you feel scared and vulnerable and nervous, just be brave, put on your big brave cape and just jump in, because this is the most supportive group of people. There's nothing but kindness and generosity in this group of like hundreds of people. I haven't seen one person be cross or without so much encouragement. It's just a very kind place where you can feel supported and people put their arms around you and really lift you up. So just do it. I remember being a young mom. I was in the Air Force full time. I still had to exercise. I would still get up at 5 o'clock and walk my dog. I mean, you just do what you want to do, right? And I still had friends over for dinner party. I did all the things. I don't know how. I mean, I'm exhausted thinking about it, but when you're in it, you're in it. You're prioritizing things. Yeah, if you prioritize it, you'll do it. I think 10 hours is enough to commit to a week of creating. I mean, personally, I've been spending like 6 to 8 hours a day in my studio and I love it. So if you want to reach out, I would love to hear from you. The best place and the easiest place is probably my website, because then you can link to my Instagram. I'm on Instagram regularly, but my website is KristinMSteinke.com. So it's KRISTIM Steinke, STEINKE.com. And then you can reach out and send me on my contact form an email and I'll respond immediately. And you can even sign up for my newsletter because it's working now. But Instagram too, I'm Blackbird Art and Design. And I know that's tricky. And that's one of those learning things. Like, Should I have done that or should I just done my name? And those are things you'll have to figure out yourself. Yeah, my website's the safest place just to land and poke around and see all the stuff I made. And when you see it, I did it all this year. So there we go. Thanks.